I truly think that one of the best ways to show love, well, maybe it's not to show it, but it's that you'll truly know that you love somebody, even if they don't. It's consideration, even when nobody knows. Consideration itself is just one of the biggest things you can do. And in fact, it's actually what couples long term, be they married or just in relationships for a long time till an elderly age, things they appreciate, all these little gestures, they come from just this very deep consideration. Now, it's obviously important to demonstrate that you love them, because what good is you knowing you love somebody if they don't know? But that's not what I'm touching on. What I'm trying to make you understand is if you truly believe you care for somebody, but that's up for dispute, ask yourself really, right? Even when they're unaware of your actions or your words, how high does your integrity stand in considering them? Because that's when you know you truly care and love somebody. There's so many examples I can give, and I think the reason this is something I've been thinking about recently is because it was actually brought to my attention by quite a few people that are in long-term relationships that are kind of going through a rough patch. And when I speak to both people and hear both their sides, because I'm not somebody who wants to, just hear a single side. So if I can hear both, I'd love to hear out both people. And you come to realize that there's sometimes this very innocent, non-malicious lack of consideration both people have, and the issue is sometimes they don't communicate their needs or their feelings. And that can lead to so many instances of just their partner feeling left down, even when the person in question isn't doing it intentionally. Sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it. But of course, that doesn't mean the other person's not hurting, right? The reason consideration comes into this is because the most successful relationships and happiest couples, and friendships actually, tend to be from people who truly do consider each other. Just the littlest things. It doesn't even have to be very big gestures, but they're always looking out for each other constantly. Maybe it's a component of codependence. You know, you can only really do that when you're codependent on somebody. But that means you want to be codependent too, right? That's actually beautiful. I'm just thinking about this in my head now. That's mad sweet. The little gestures that we do for each other and it inspires and manifests into codependence. That's so dope. Because then you've got somebody else now who you can actually rely on. And humans, we're social creatures. Listen, I'll tell you something now. I'm a very authentic guy. And I'm not afraid to admit, even I care sometimes what people think. It's true. But for the most part, I don't. I'm going to be completely honest. I do truly believe I have the mental strength capacity to genuinely not give a damn about many people and their perceptions or opinions or takes on things that are perhaps not in my best interest to take on board. And I don't mean in a factual setting, or I just mean purely opinion based, but not because I want to be ignorant and protect my ego and be blind to certain realities or beliefs that I have. I just sit with them. But more, I mean, I can't really speak on this because I don't really have much experience on it. I don't really have many experiences recently or over the past couple of years where I sincerely feel like somebody's going out of their way to cause me harm. But more to the point of consideration, you'll you'll see that codependence flourishes, blossoms from these little acts. And it helps people trust you more. Like, think about it. You're really involving this person even when they're not around. You're thinking about them. And that thought of them is causing an action. Isn't that a very active way of showing somebody you care and love for them? Even when they're not around, you're thinking about them. And you're doing something. They may truly never know. But you'll know. And there'll be a reminder to you that you care. And it's these subtle little reminders that I think help you as a person. It makes you so happy, like, yeah, I'm doing this for them because it's a little reminder to yourself, All these little things that you do, it's beautiful, and you can truly say you care and love somebody. That will never be up for dispute within your mind. But we don't do it for some reason. A lot of us just don't have that within us, this natural consideration. Like, that's what's worrisome, because when you're in love, or you want to make a really strong bond, or you care about somebody, consideration is a massive factor in that. I don't think you can truly say you care about somebody or you love them if you don't have that within you. Because, if I'm being honest, I think if you're having some dopamine or oxytocin or serotonin release, yeah, you're at level 1 attraction, dude. And that's not sincere, that'll fade. If you love somebody, and I mean like you are down for them, till death do you apart, solid brotherhood, loyalties, all of these things, like friends and family, everything. I hate you, Sage. Heal me of my sins, my dude. Oh, I got him. Oh, you got me back. Dude, all I'm trying to say is, a lot of y'all claim to care. A lot of y'all claim to love. Maybe we all love differently, and maybe that's sufficient for our partner. But what I'm saying is go the extra mile, go that extra step. Do it unapologetically. Because not only will your partner appreciate it more, that'll inspire them and make them feel reassured. And that just, if anything, strengthens the bond of your relationship to the highest degree. These little things, they remind you and you feel confident within yourself that you love somebody and you care for them, and you're doing the absolute most that you can. But also, you'll be able to receive love better too, I'd argue. Because you're going out of your way to do that for somebody. And hopefully they'll do the same for you. When you both do that for each other, that natural consideration, be they present or not present, like, that's love, man. That's consideration. That's, like, one of the sweetest things you can do. And it's never up for question, because at one point they may find out. Maybe they never will, but you'll know. The greatest thing about that is, even when they're not around, if you consider them, and you do or don't do things in accordance to their comfortability and their happiness, that reinforces this mechanism or mindset that makes you so much stronger. Because you move as a unit. You move literally as a unit, whether you're together or not together in that moment. That's like a massive factor to creating a strong bond, because even when they're not there, they're there with you. And because they're there with you in spirit or in thought or whatever it may be, you do things out of love for them even when they're not around. That's beautiful. Now you could argue that's corny, that's lame, that's dumb, what's the point? The effort you put in directly translates into how strong your relationships are going to be. But how it works out and what it leads to is beautiful. You want to be happy, right? You want to feel reassured. You want to feel comfortable. You want to feel so many of these things. That one component of consideration will allow you to receive love better too. It really will. Now, if that became one-sided, I would say reserve effort for sure, but you should do it a fair amount and hopefully take that first step. Sometimes you've got to take a leap of faith. I truly believe that. But if you do believe that's not something the other person's fostering too, then you absolutely should reserve effort because it's going to feel sucky to be like, okay, well, I'm doing this, but this other person isn't considering me, even though I'm doing it for them. It may seem transactional, but you can't let yourself be taken advantage of either, you know? But I say that to say that I want it to be the norm, truthfully. I don't want it to be a case of like, okay, I'm going to do this on the conditional basis that the other person does it for me. I don't want it to be like that, but I do think that's necessary for bubble wrapping your heart, you know? There's so much more on this I can speak on, but natural consideration, it's beautiful. It's the key to many long-term strong relationships. But also, you'll sleep well knowing that you did the best that you could. And hopefully your partner reciprocates too. And that's it. You both move as a unit, be they present or not present. That's beautiful. And it's a testament to your love. Till next time, people.